Let me know if you guys have seen that this subgenre of, it's basically like this specific narrative that has popped up on YouTube. And it's gotten popular, not even just with the regular chuds, but like outside of that. That Ryan Reynolds cut Tatiana Maslany, and in some versions say that Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, cut them out of Deadpool and Wolverine. Has anybody seen that? That claim that they were cut from the movie? And it kind of feels like it might make some sense, just because, She-Hulk breaks fourth wall. Deadpool, I think he does too. I'm really curious if anybody else has seen that, because I know that my algorithm is specifically fucked. Okay, the first you heard of it. Well, that's because it's not true. That's because it is fake. It's not a thing that happened. But what we can do is we can take a look real quick, and I can show you what I mean. Because there's a lot of content about this shit. You don't want to get sucked down this algorithm. This fucking rabbit hole. Let's see. Yeah, so I started typing in Ryan Reynolds, Tatiana Maslany. I got TA typed in after Ryan Reynolds, and it's just nothing but that autofill. I mean, okay, so of course, your everybody's fucking favorite piece of shit grifter, Jesse Grant, plays a part in this. Let me get this shared here. So here we go. Look at that. She-Hulk actress is crazy. She-Hulk actress threatens to sue Marvel and Ryan Reynolds. She-Hulk actress explodes at Ryan Reynolds after Deadpool 4 axed her. He loses it with She-Hulk actress after sexist accusations. That's another thing that they. So the first part of the narrative is that he cut her, possibly Brie Larson, depending on who you're watching or hearing it from the movie. Second part, he did it because of sexism, according to Tatiana Maslany. She said that. She didn't say that. She didn't say that. No, nothing's been said, because the fact is, the first thing didn't happen. So the second thing didn't fucking happen, but, Ryan Reynolds intensifies woke Disney's financial collapse after Deadpool and Wolverine drama. She-Hulk actress lashes out at Ryan Reynolds after Deadpool hit $1 billion. None of this is true. These are just false, right? Okay. So, oh look, Ryan Reynolds finally claps back at She-Hulk actress. There's just nonstop. It's like all these channels have popped up that are basically Mike Zero clones, and they're just creating their own fucking narratives. They don't even give a shit how, oh my God, look, here's shorts. Okay. Look at this. You're a bitch. Piece of trash. She-Hulk did not flop. Disney is lying. Wow. Yeah. Major freakout. Does anybody see that major freakout from her? Seems like we would have seen like a clip from her major freakout if it had happened, right? Yeah, but this is something different, Daniel. Like, I mean, this is outside the normal scope of chud shit. This is like these are channels that we've never heard of before. I haven't. I'm sure many of you haven't either. That just kind of, they're making their name for themselves, I think, right now. Honestly, look at that guy. Look at that fucking guy. Whew. Uh-oh. What's he doing there? What is he doing to Mr. Putin there? What's happening in that picture? I don't like the implications there. Let's see. Ryan Reynolds. Look, British Brothers, Josiah Rises, Nerdy Corp, fucking British Brothers, Mike Zero. Emergency Awesome is like unfortunately mixed in here. I don't love his content or anything, but he does seem to generally be coming from a place of sincerity and honesty. I'm sure that he's fucked up some stuff before, but like he's really just good at gaming the algorithm, I think. So he just gets these massive numbers and shit. Anyway, there you go. Now you see what I'm talking about. And that's the thing, right? So now let's move over to talking about a man who fashions himself as being a logical mind, an astute analyst, an observer with impeccable analysis, critical thinking, also drinking, Scotsman. So he shared a post. Let me pull this up here. I got so much information right here that's just like fucking crazy, man. I got to paint a picture for you. I don't know if I've ever put things together so much so as I'm going to do here tonight, but we'll see how it goes. As far as like putting together a picture based on here's this, now here's this, now here's this. And if anybody has any doubts for what I'm showing you and you think that what I'm showing you is bullshit or what I'm saying about it is bullshit, let me know, please. Oh, yeah, it's fucking, yeah, you know it. You already know it, bro. Yeah. It's my first fucking ex-woman shirt that I've ever had. Thinking about getting a Storm shirt. Yeah. That's what's up. All right. Let me just find this real quick. This image, because I got so many images, guys. Okay. So this is the post that looks like it was on, on Twitter. It's Twitter, man. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's Twitter. So it's a post shared by, what is this? Comic Basics. Never heard of them before. Have you? Tatiana Maslany confirms Ryan Reynolds really did kick She-Hulk scenes from Deadpool and Wolverine. Read the full story in the comments below. Okay, maybe we will. But in the meantime, you can see what he had to say about it there, Critical Drinker. So let's go over here to Comic Basics. Maybe this is the new cool channel to go to and learn stuff. Look at that. Wow, that looks kind of neat, right? I'm going to tell you right now that anybody, it doesn't matter how proficient you are with, anything, you can make a website like this. It's very easy. Okay, so you get, the thing is though, that this specific story that was linked, that he was linking there, it's gone. It's gone. It's fucking gone. It's not there anymore. I don't know why. So, but this whole example revolves around all this stuff. However, Birdman coming in clutch, as pretty much he seems to do nonstop. Like, I don't know that this man fucking misses. Birdman says that this let's see. So, I mean, I don't even know if this is a real story or not. Like, I don't fucking. Okay, so here's the context with audio. I'm gonna reshare my thing with audio. Hold on. So this is a podcast called Comedy Bang Bang, and apparently, the whole source of this is a joke that she made. Okay, a very obvious joke on a joke podcast, on a comedy podcast. Let's check it out.
And how do you fire someone after they've already left on a lot of people trying to flood your social media with like weird things I don't even understand. Like, I'm glad you weren't in Deadpool.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to clear this up.
Okay.
I'm going to clear this up.
And this is
you guys hear this, right? You can hear this. Just making sure. All right. Okay.
By the way, this is the show where we break news about the Marvel universe.
And this is the facts.
Okay.
So I was in Deadpool Wolverine.
Okay.
I had 2 scenes in it.
No.
And then Ryan Reynolds fired me.
What?
From the show because he said, I don't like these scenes.
Really?
And now
did you film them already?
I filmed them. They were in the can.
How do you fire someone after they've already left and gone home?
I don't know, but he managed to do it. And now I'm suing Disney.
What?
And these are the facts.
Okay, so
what is going
Have you filed the lawsuit yet? Or?
Yes.
You okay?
And I'm also always talking about how much I hate Wolverine and Deadpool.
Well, that's the thing.
I talk about it all the time.
No,
I also wish I would just sit down and stop pushing my feminist agenda and just realize that the movie made a lot of money and She-Hulk made $3.
$3 She-Hulk.
Wow. I don't think She-Hulk made anything because
no, you're right. You're
it's
right.
streaming and there are no one paid for it specifically.
So they're actually
Philip, man, like how do you really don't realize yet that this is a sarcasm, like the heavy sarcasm, man? You got to be a little bit more sharp on the internet, bro, with like these kinds of things. Like you got to be, I don't know what to tell you. Like you just got to not automatically, I don't know. There's no creative differences because she never filmed any scenes for Deadpool and Wolverine. She was never hired, cast in Deadpool and Wolverine. That never happened. None of this happened. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Chuds who don't fucking... I mean, it really was kind of a mistake on her part. I'll be honest. Hearing what she says here.
Actually, like, bumping us up a little with this $3 business. $0 made on She-Hulk.
Well, it's a shame because Deadpool and Wolverine was so funny. And I'm
don't even get me started on how woke bullshit was creeping in. That's why they got rid of me, because I had this woke agenda and I really wanted to bring it into the movie.
I remember you telling me that you kind of ad-libbed a bunch of stuff about the
my feminist manifesto.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's too bad that you were cut out of it, but I'm glad you're suing them. I think
it feels good to sue them.
Yeah.
It's a thing that could happen.
Were you?
A thing
I bet it feels smart too. Hey, Jimmy.
It does feel smart.
What better plan could there be than to sue Disney?
Right, for firing me from the movie. And now I'm speaking a lot of shit about Ryan Reynolds too.
Okay,
and I have beef, you guys.
Let's get into the biff.
I hope no comic book media picks this up. This is an exclusive here on Comedy Bang Bang, but a lawsuit against Disney. This is incredible because you were cut,
guys.
Because you were cut out of Wolverine meets Deadpool.
Wow.
And they have it. I mean, honestly, that movie they met, and they had a.
So I mean, not to put you on the spot here, Philip, but like I'm pretty sure I remember you saying that you were on the spectrum. I am as well. And that's the thing. Like the reason why a lot of people are buying into this, to be honest, is not to say that every one of them is on the spectrum or anything, but a lot of them are. A lot of them are, or they're just really gullible in general. You know what I mean? Not to say that every autistic person's really gullible. That's not the case, but because I'm not. I'm one of the least gullible motherfuckers you'll ever meet. That's what's crazy, man. But I mean, it wasn't always this way. I had to work for it. But yeah, they exploit not just people. They're not just exploiting fans in a lot of cases. They're exploiting people who are alone, isolated, mentally ill, or autistic. It sucks. It sucks that that's what they do, man. But that's what they do. So we got confirmation here that Critical Drinkers shared a story by some website that we've never heard of, right? That for some reason, erroneously or intentionally, we don't know, shared a story that is, if to anybody with any, with any awareness of what's going on, right? It's just being sarcastic as fuck. You got people laughing their asses off in the background. She's laughing in between saying the bullshit. She doesn't even keep her story straight. She says a couple of different things. Because it's fucking joke. She takes it so not seriously. But she obviously has seen the stuff being said. So she decided to say something about it. If she was really suing Disney, she's not going to talk about it like this. It should have given it away whenever she says how much shit she's talking on Ryan Reynolds. Because that's the moment where it's like, before that, I could understand maybe if you aren't aware being like, oh, wow, she's really, but then she's like, oh, I'm talking so much shit on Ryan Reynolds. Like, no, she's not, because she's not. That would be a career mistake. For one thing, it'd be a suicide for a career. He's kind of one of the biggest guys in Hollywood, and she's well liked, but I wouldn't say she's remotely close to being that big, right? You don't just go after the biggest guy in Hollywood and start talking shit on him on a regular basis and saying that he's a sexist and fuck you over and stuff like that, unless you have some proof, or you just don't want a career anymore. All right. Next part of this. What is this website? So we looked at it. We can look at a couple other sources here, or a couple other articles rather. So, okay, here's an article. Quentin Tarantino praises Joker. Joaquin performs. Okay, cool. Concept artist unveils a new scrapped Wolverine design once considered for the film. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's a weird name, right? I mean, weird if you're an American. You don't see those names very often. But it's not. I don't think it's a Russian name. I don't think it is. I think it's maybe something else. Weird. What are these names about? And why would it's weird. They're doing a lot of clickbaity type stuff, right? Oh wow. That's actually good news for Ant-Man and the Wasp. It turned a profit. Of course it did. All right. So what does this mean? Who are these people? Right? Well, all of these names can also be found at another website called Fiction Horizon. You'll note the exact same names here. And a couple of them sound, let's just say some sort of I don't know what they sound like, but they sound kind of Russian-ish. I don't believe they are, but except for this one, which seems honestly like a fake fucking name. Arthur S. Poe seems fucking fake. Might not be, seems it. And it's kind of just the exact same content, right? So you've got, come on up, bring it, man. Let me give you a link. If you want to jump on, more the merrier on this shit. Let me drop this link in the old Discord here. There it is. Right. Yes. So these websites are mostly just aggregators of quotes from other more legit sites. This is how easy it is to make a website. And if you know SEO, search engine optimization, you can kind of kick some ass without even doing anything. All they're doing is they're probably copy pasting shit, to be honest. They are probably just copying and pasting stuff from other websites into the field, fucking WordPress or whatever it is. Hit send. As long as you hit 300 words. I know this because I used to work for a website that used WordPress in particular, and with WordPress anyway, and with Google, it's, our general standard. I don't know how standardized this is, but it's standard for us. 300 words minimum in order to kind of have a chance in the algorithm. Doesn't take much. You can fill up more than half of that just by saying this movie is by blah 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 and it was based on this and this and this and this. You don't have to actually give any new information in most of that copy. You can just wing it. Say a couple of bullshit lines, pump it out there. And that's what these people, these same exact people too. Did you guys notice the names? Same exact people. It's weird. It's weird. Well, that's because at least a couple of these, maybe one or more, not really a person. Not a real person. What do I mean by that? Well, let's see. So there is a Twitter for Robert Milikovich. I don't know if that's how that's said or not, but let's check out his Twitter. Here he is. Robert Milikovich. Okay. Co-founder of Fiction Horizon and co-owner of Comic Basics. Wow, he's the guy, man. We found the John F. Trent of this fucking website, right? These websites. Huh. Except when you kind of scroll through his feed here, you realize that it's almost exclusively, or might exclusively be, posts shitting on Google. Huh. Like every single post is that. Let's check out Fiction Horizon. So this, joined September 2020. They're not brand new. They've been around. And it's, just posting all those same articles that we know they've done. That also they've done on another website. Let's check that out. Okay, so this one seems to have a little bit more actual engagement attempts here. We're not talking about Atkill all along right now. Sorry. Fortunately, this is not getting a lot of play. These guys are they're not doing so well here. All right. So this is it's seemingly what's his name? Robert Milikovich seems to possibly just be a bot that kind of looks around for Google hate and retweets it. What's that about? Why would they do that? Well, you may not be surprised to learn that Russia is really unhappy with Google right now, guys. Really, really unhappy. Okay. So they've fined Google $2.5 decillion over YouTube bans. That's crazy. That's a lot of decillions. Holy shit. Google has racked up some 2 undecillion rubles, 2.5 decillion worth. I mean, so what does it even mean, man? These are nonsense words, is what the point is. That's not a real number. It's not a real thing. It's an imaginary amount of money. They're basically like being like children, how like a little kid be like, my dad makes a quadrillion fucking dollars. I don't know. Yeah, it's not real. That's crazy. But this is the Moscow Times too. The Moscow Times. I don't know if that's like a major website or what. It's a 1 followed by 33 zeros. Yeah. Okay. Sounds legit, bro. Sounds real. Sounds real, comrade. So, this is bullshit. This is just propaganda. It's designed to, just shit at Google, throw shit at Google, fling shit at Google. Probably directly, influenced or, ordered by the Kremlin. And the reason by the way, that they've sued, they've decided they owe them this money is because they've been blocking RT and other websites since the Ukraine invasion, when Google stopped allowing them to publish certain websites and certain content on their shit because they were just pumping, disinformation out there. What is it? Yeah, they make Cillian Murphy dollars. It's a real number, but not for a real amount of money. It's more money than exists in the world or will exist for centuries. Russia is big mad at Google. Yeah. It's not real. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's fucking fantasy. I mean, for most people, $1 billion is a fantasy number of money. You know what I mean? Like, even though it does exist, there are people that have that amount. For most people, the vast majority of us, that's just a fucking fantasy that doesn't exist. How do you even, to people that have that much money, they can't conceptualize that. They can't fucking hold it. That's not something that they, I know how much that is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a fucking, it's cartoonish dollar amounts at that point. That's why it's so fucking ridiculous that there's billionaires at all. There shouldn't be. You have cartoonish money. It shouldn't exist. All right. So there's that. So that's seemingly maybe why that that account is doing that. This is where it takes us to Russian disinformation, because other than that, we don't really have anything other than some names. But not to bury the lead, those names are not Russian. They're actually not. They seem to be Croatian. Well, Croatian. What? Okay. What does that mean? Right? We don't have anything going on with Croatia, do we? No, not directly. Of course not. In fact, let's see. Croatia is in the EU, and it's a NATO-aligned country. What? Well, then that kind of gets rid of that kind of kills the Russian thing right there, right? Because if it was something to do with Russia, they wouldn't be, well, except Croatia has had friendly relations with Russia, but it's gone cold since the 2014 Ukraine invasion. However, Russia still exerts influence over the Balkans. And then we've got here a council. Let's see. Council on Foreign Relations report that tells us what the relationship is with Russia and Croatia. And the Balkans, rather. But, including Croatia. The Balkans have long been a source of tension between Russia and the West, with Moscow cultivating allies there as the EU and NATO expand into the region. The war in Ukraine could be shifting the calculus. So, they've cultivated close ties with Serbia and other Slavic allies in the Balkans. Russia resents the region's push for integration and the European Union, with the European Union and North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and it seeks to leverage persistent ethnic and religious fault lines to undermine those efforts. So, just sounds like more of the same, right? So this is the Balkans we're talking about here. Oh, look's right there. That's crazy. What is that? That's a little Croatia, isn't it? Sure is. Sure is. I gotta turn this light off so I can kill my eyes. Holy shit. Okay. That looks better anyway, shit. And at this point, I'm just kind of pointing you towards the direction of possible ways to understand what's happened here. We know that the Critical Drinker shared from a website that is sharing disinformation, maybe misinformation. If we want to be safe, we can safely say it's misinformation. What's the difference there? Misinformation can be done accidentally. It can be mistaken. Somebody can just be wrong, and that can be misinformation. Disinformation is directly, intentionally something injected into, whatever discourse, narratives to confuse, to inflame, to antagonize, to, stuff like that. So it could be disinformation on these websites that we looked at. It's definitely at least misinformation, because we know that this shit isn't happening. Where are the lawsuits? None of these if we go watch every one of these videos that's talking about this fucking thing, none of them are going to show the lawsuit or read the lawsuit or anything like that, because one does not exist. They're not going to share any sources for Ryan Reynolds or Tatiana Maslany saying these things back and forth to each other, because they don't exist. Except they do exert influence over other Balkan states too. But I brought on tonight our Balkan expert. Have you been hearing any of this stuff so far?
On your stream or in general?
Or in general, or seen what I posted in the server?
I mean, yeah, I've been keeping up with a little bit of it, but this seems new. I don't think I've seen this yet. The stuff you're talking about right now.
Okay, so this is all. Well, I don't want to say who he is in case he doesn't want his name out there, but he's somebody that's helped us out before and a good dude. He did a lot of work just tonight, and he basically just started pulling a thread. Once he realized that Critical Drinker had shared that one post, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. That he shared that post, he started looking into that, because who is Comics Basics or whatever it is? Well, we looked into that. Comics Basics is this. Yeah. You start looking at these. First of all, the article about. You do know that there's the whole narrative about Tatiana Maslany and Ryan Reynolds and all that shit.
Yeah, because Marvel's winning this year, and they have to find something to complain about. So that's the issue.
But it's fake. It's all fake. And she wasn't cast or filmed in the movie. Period. No. And she wasn't fired from it, and she hasn't said that he's sexed. None of that shit happens, but yet they're just keep running with it.
Well, the thing is that you look at their track record right now of what Marvel's putting out, and Agatha's doing extremely well. So they had to create a problem because there is no problem. So they made this imaginary story up from this, you know?
Yeah. So the thing is, though, that this isn't just the normal guys, though. I don't think there's something else going on here.
Okay.
I think this is kind of I think this is more related maybe to the election, to be honest with you.
Maybe. I agree. I will say also, these websites are becoming more and more common now. These just like completely AI articled websites that are just garbage. Like
you not only that, I mean, you're absolutely right. Because look at this. Here's this one. You see some of these names here: Arthur S. Poe, Milokovic or whatever, Milokovic.
Yeah.
The Poe, and then you go over to Fiction. Was it Fiction Horizon? You start to see these same exact names, same exact articles, in fact. So it does seem like they're just copy pasting into at least two different. There's probably more websites that we don't even know about like this. And then, you're like, well, okay, well, let's look into some of these names, right? Names go. So we found the Twitter of this Robert Milokovic. It doesn't seem like a real guy. It seems like an account that's designed to just shit on Google.
Yeah.
Like he's just reposting stuff people talk. Whenever somebody talks shit on Google, he's reposting that. That's all he does. Yeah. Once again, shout out to Birdman for pointing out that this is a bullshit narrative here. And this, did you see this part?
Mm-hmm.
So this from this podcast where she messed up a little bit. I'll be honest. I'm not going to blame her, but like, I wish she wouldn't have done that, because now they have something they can apparently latch onto and use. Because even though there's definitely dudes laughing their asses off in the background, she's clearly joking, But as my source had pointed out, it could be that the people that found this actually think that she's being sincere because maybe they aren't native English speakers.
Right.
Maybe they are just reading transcripts, and in those contexts, you might not catch the sarcasm.
Yeah, without the hearing the voice and understanding that it looks like that. But I also want to point out that this narrative with like this podcast thing with comedy and everything, it's almost like the guys like Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic, when they're talking about stuff in a joking way, that's their like, oh, I get a free pass because it's just humor. But when someone else does it, no, it has to be 100% serious.
Well, when a woman does it, for sure.
Yeah.
Here's where it gets really fucking interesting. You ready? You showed up just in time, honestly. Because now, if you guys are starting to lose interest, you better fucking perk up, buddy. Because here's where it goes. So found Twitter accounts for a couple of those people named in both those websites, right? For instance, here is a Twitter account for Valentina Kraljic. Unfortunately, her tweets are protected.
Okay.
But there she is. Comics Basics, Fiction Horizon.
Why would you... Okay, so, I mean, I'm only asking this because it seems a little sus.
Yeah.
If you're a person, an editor, or someone advertising a brand new comic book website where you're trying to get people out, get the word out about your website, why would you have your account protected when you're literally advertising? I mean, I'm just asking the question. She certainly can if she wants. Like, I'm not saying that there should be some unspoken rule about it, but it just seems a little weird to me.
It is weird. And there might be a reason for that. And it might have something similar to do with the one that isn't protected. So, and that's and I'm gonna definitely fucking fuck this name up, this first name. Here, I have no idea how to say this, honestly. Milokovic, which is the same last name as the other guy, just a different first name. And he's in this post, he's complaining about not placing well in the algorithm with this one article that he did about the show Mayor of Kingston, the Jeremy Renner show. I haven't watched it. I don't know anything about it, but apparently he's just kind of complaining, like, using the term "who is Terry?" blah blah blah. Somewhere in 7th place behind. He's complaining. He's mad because they're behind AI sites. So this is clearly a real person. I think. This is somebody that's actually complaining. So you go to that website, and the article, in fact, which he did not write, apparently, it's got a different name.
Okay.
Billy Odery. And then, once you zoom in on that, you can see this is a very different, this is a different entry into the whole thing.
Right.
Let's check this out. 1 second. So this seems like maybe a legit person, right? He's also written travel guides and reviews for multiple travel magazines, GoWorldTravel.com, Matador Network. Somebody wants to check those out, feel free. And then he's got this list of articles here.
Okay.
And at first we believed that maybe he was that this was a fake guy and that this picture was actually taken from LinkedIn. That was our first kind of like, oh, that's what it seems like.
Okay.
Let's see. Because
is he real? Is this a real person?
Well, we're getting there.
Okay.
Follow down this fucking crazy rabbit hole with me because we're about to get it's about to get real interesting. I promise you.
Okay.
You're gonna love it. He's got a Twitter account. Interesting. Let's see. Billy O'Dory.
Oh.
At first we didn't think this was the same guy, but I mean he is facing the other way, which is kind of odd that he's facing in the away from the camera. But I mean at first glance we're like this is a different guy, but seemingly maybe it's not. Okay. And then you look at what all he's posting, where he works.
Okay.
Bounding into comics.
Interesting.
What he's posting, bounding into comics, bounding into comics, bounding into comics, bounding into comics, bounding into comics.
Okay. Is he one of the mass exodus from Bounding into Comics when they got bought out? Is that what this is?
I don't think so because he's still. This is his most recent post is 21 hours.
Okay, so
ago.
he's still connected to Bounding into Comics. Then.
Let's see. So this is he just wrote this on the 29th. So
all right.
Yep. And we can go to his thing here. Yeah, fucking ads. These are his articles.
I mean... Look how much ad space is at the top of the screen.
It's crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy how much. Details emerge on how
these are all recent articles. So
yeah. No, I don't think this guy has been on Friday Night Ties, man. I'm pretty sure they haven't had
funny.
anyone...
You know what's funny to me is the amount of people that contribute to this site and sites like this that look like real people. They're never on streams anywhere.
True.
There's like 2 or 3 of them that are, but the rest of them are just never anywhere else.
So let's see. He seems to have started this year because this is the only page of his content.
Okay.
So yeah, that's interesting. There you go. I mean, there's that. And I don't know what to make of it now at this point, by the way. I'm not making any kind of claims except that it's fucking interesting that just kind of pulling at some threads led us here. Right?
Right.
Like, I don't know what to make of it. I don't think we have all the information that we would need to make any kind of claim about what's happening here. But like, we've got multiple Croatians that may or may not be real people that are definitely making misinformation content,
right?
Possibly disinformation content. As you know, I was talking about the distinction between those two, and like misinformation can be done mistakenly, right? Disinfo is not. Disinfo is intentionally putting bad shit out there. So if it's just accidental, like, oh wow, what a coincidence that they're Croatian and Croatia, it's kind of close to Russia. I'm not going to say that they're all in league or anything, but I'm just working with what I have to make the best, possible, put the best possible picture together that I can. And I'm open to being wrong and being new information showing me otherwise, And I mean, honestly, if you looked at his other posts on Twitter, he does have some posts that are not bounding into comics, and they seem to be a real. 4 years ago, he worked at Screen Rant.
Do we know where he's from?
He says he's from Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I'm on his Facebook page right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's just... I don't know. This is a little weird.
Totally. That's totally could have happened. And that's what we thought happened at first, was that somebody had stolen his picture off of LinkedIn.
There's a Facebook account for him with a lot of pictures on them, but it's a lot of like memes and stuff like that. There's not a lot of like personal information. And just looking through here, work in education, self-employed. It looks very generic to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he does have some opinions, it seems like, as far as stuff on his Twitter, and
Right,
it might be faked opinions. People could go that far to try to create a person online.
Well,
the
thing is, if this is his real Facebook, he is like sharing links to Bounding into Comics, meaning that at the very least, the Facebook account is.
Can you see any comments from him anywhere, like replies on anything?
No, there's nothing. He shared the Good Omens article 21 hours ago. No interactions on that. There are other things he shared with interactions on them, but they're like, look at this pregnant deer, and
there's some weird posts on his
yeah,
there's some weird shit.
So I'm not sure what's actually going on with this. And to be quite honest, I don't even know how they would have found this person to write articles for their site. Like,
I mean, he could have, like, I know that I've applied for positions at writing at our websites before and gotten a couple of them, but I mean, it doesn't, he could have seen them living in Kenya.
Maybe.
Real guy.
That's the thing, is I can't discern if it's really him or it's just somebody that made the profile to make him look more real.
So, I mean, it definitely seems like somebody. I was talking with my source about it. He's like, this is so weird. He's like, is this Russian stuff or is it AI stuff? Is it weird because it's Russian or weird because it's AI? And I was like, a bit of both. It could be.
I mean, to be quite honest, if anybody's ever played around with it, and I use it to help me with like consolidating my thoughts together, but if you go into Chat GPT, you could just enter in information and say, write an article based on this. And it'll write the whole article for you. And if somebody doesn't care or doesn't speak English as a first language, it's quite possible they could just copy paste whatever that is and upload it to these sites. It would allow them to put out a lot of content very quickly.
I had one more bit of context to add to what the website's about. Income Era in September 2022 acquires Comic Basics.
So Comics Basics existed prior to that? I've never heard of this place.
I mean, and so did Fiction Horizon, apparently, because they owned them. Company behind Fiction Horizon, one of the most often consulted entertainment-focused sites on the internet, interesting, has acquired. So it may be that these websites are kind of what Bounding into Comics is, except they to other regions in the world before now.
Yeah.
This is just one small step in the growth. Like Income Era is kind of like the inner market.
Did you go to the page for Income Era?
No, why?
Hold on, let me show. It's literally the same people. It's the people from Comic Basics. Like, look here, I've shared it to the page here.
Okay.
So this is the website. There's nothing here at the top, and then you scroll down, and the only two things listed are these, and it's not even a proper link. It's just kind of improperly linked there. They were founded in 2020. Deliver engaging content to more than 6 million readers monthly. Here are our brands. And it's just these two things. And then look who owns it.
Brothers. A couple of brothers. If they're real people, they're brothers.
That's what I mean.
They have to be brothers. I just think that's probably most likely. Let's get in touch. Well, maybe, we'll get in touch with them and see what they say.
That's it. And then you can leave like your name, email, and message. It's got the address down here too, and the phone number. Oh
shit. Well, all right. What time is it in Croatia? Because this is a Croatian thing, by the way.
Yeah.
I've got here. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's Osijeko Baranjka, Croatia. They have 11 to 50 employees. And then they get, well, I guess that's something like 3 million, over 3 million views per something.
Well, it says 6 million readers monthly.
Well,
I
so I'm
don't
looking
believe
at-
that. I don't believe that. I think that's fake. 6 million? I've never heard of the website. And honestly, we would be the target audience for this kind of website. Yeah, that seems a little sus to me.
So Incomera DOO is what is a DOO? Is that like a DBA? We deliver highly engaging content to more than 6 million people monthly. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
DOO is let me see, hold on.
But then this 3.2 million here, I assume, is also meant to reflect their views or page. I don't know.
It's a private limited company or any type of business entity and private ownership in Croatia.
5:30 a.m. in Croatia right now. Yeah, let's Google this address here. That'll be fun. Right.
Google the address. That's a good idea.
Oh, this is a different address that it has here that's on the other thing. VAT ID. That's value added tax, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? They got their VAT ID tax ID here. I don't know if there's anything to be done with that, but that's kind of interesting.
Do they have to post that publicly? I don't know if that's a...
Maybe. So here we have, it actually, Google does have them listed as at this address.
Okay.
Right. Or at least they are listed in Google. Actually, it doesn't have Google listed. Let's see.
That's it there, Street View. They're in that building somewhere.
Oh, wow. Fancy.
Looks like somebody's house.
Yeah, it kind of does. It looks like maybe even apartments, but it could be, like a commercial kind of thing tucked away here.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. It just visually, that's what it tells me. It's a house.
There they are, I guess. Or not. Who knows? Hotel Waldinger is nearby. That's good. God, this is kind of just like exactly what you imagine Eastern Europe to look like, I think.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of just nondescript kind of buildings in gray sky.
Very brutalism inspired.
Yeah. I mean, this is a nice color. That's some nice yellow there, I guess. Got a little pink down here.
That might be their shop. They wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, it actually looks a little bit better than I would expect, to look a little bit nicer. But look, I'm American. I've only seen movies and stuff like that. That's all I know about the region. So like, I'm not being like shitty. I'm just saying my experience is informed by fucking, American media.
Blame Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Oh, wait, what is that? Okay. What kind of car is that, bro? Fuck. What is that?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of Eastern European shit. My mom, whenever I was a little kid, she got very, very short amount of time because it broke down a Yugo car. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
You ever seen those?
I don't know if I've ever seen them, but I've heard of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's from obviously from Yugoslavia before they, kind of went out of business as a country.